There are speeches for the rich, speeches for the successful, speeches for the ones already winning in life. But today, this story is not for them. This story is for the broken, for the people in the middle of the storm, for the people who are still fighting battles nobody sees, for the ones who wake up every morning wondering if they can do this for even one more day. If that's you, listen closely, because this story is as real as it gets. I wasn't supposed to make it. If you looked at my childhood, you'd say the ending was already written. I grew up in a place where hope didn't survive long, a place where dreams were things other people had, a place where surviving the day felt like an achievement. I couldn't read until I was 16, not because I was lazy, but because I was too busy trying to survive a life that kept trying to break me. And the darkest part? I buried my mother after she overdosed. Heroin. No child should ever have to see that. No child should ever have to carry that. My father hated me, not disliked, hated. So I learned early that the world wasn't coming to save me. Some nights I had nowhere to sleep, nowhere safe. So I used to sneak into crack houses, not to get high, not to do what the others were doing, but just to sleep on the floor next to my mother. Just to make sure she was breathing. Just to make sure she didn't die in the night. That's the world I came from. That's the world that built me. But hear me, pain is not always punishment. Sometimes pain is preparation. For years, I asked myself the same question. Why me? Why this life? Why this pain? But the day things changed was the day I asked a different question. Not why me, but what now? One afternoon, I was sitting outside a Turkey Hill gas station, just sitting there, lost, broken, angry. And something in me snapped. Not in a destructive way, but in a way that felt like a voice inside me roaring for the first time. I walked into a studio nearby, a place I had no business stepping into, and I asked, "Can you give me a chance? Just let me speak one time. Just let me try." 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's all they gave me. I didn't have a script. I didn't have notes. I didn't have training. All I had was pain. All I had was truth. All I had was a heart that refused to die. And when I opened my mouth, the words poured out like they'd been trapped inside me for years. That was the first time I realized something. I had a gift. Not because I was special, but because the world had thrown everything at me. And somehow, I was still standing. As I started speaking more, I noticed something strange. Every motivational speaker I saw, they were talking to winners. Talking to millionaires, talking to people who already made it. And I thought, but who talks to the broken? Who talks to the ones who are drowning? Who talks to the people who don't want to live anymore? Nobody. So I decided that would be my audience. Every time I spoke to the version of me that almost gave up, to the kid who slept on those floors, to the teenager who buried his mother, to the young man who had no money, no education, no support, but still had a heartbeat. I wasn't speaking to the successful. I was speaking to the survivors, to the silent fighters, to you. People think the reason they're not successful is money. They think success is something you buy. But listen carefully. A lack of money is not the reason you're not successful. A lack of belief is. Money can disappear. Opportunities can disappear. People can walk away. But belief is the spark that can relight your entire life. Every human being is $1 million check. Some of us just never cash it because we never believe we deserve it. If you want to change your life, you start here. Wake up, look in the mirror, and declare, I am special. I am powerful. I am not staying where I am. Say it until your soul believes it. Say it until your body moves differently. Say it until your old self doesn't recognize you anymore. Anyone can be good. Good is easy. Good is comfortable. But greatness? Greatness requires sacrifice. Greatness requires pain. Greatness requires refusing to quit, even when every part of your body screams for relief. A coach says run 5 miles. The great player runs 6. A boss asks for the bare minimum. The great worker delivers the unimaginable. That doesn't come from talent. That comes from soul. That comes from a place deep inside where your brokenness becomes your power. If you want to be remembered, if you want the world to feel your impact, you cannot live like everybody else. You must become extraordinary. Not someday, not when life gets easier, but right now. As my voice grew, as my speeches reached more people, I realized something. Success means nothing if you don't help others rise with you. This world is not about ego. It is about service. It is about giving. It is about lifting the ones who can't lift themselves. I don't just want to win. I want you to win. I want you to become the version of you that you've been afraid to meet. Because inside you, even in your pain, even in your mistakes, even in your darkest nights, there is a king, there is a queen, there is a legend waiting to be released. If you hear nothing else in this story, hear this. You are not broken. You are becoming. The pain you carry is not a life sentence. It is the birthplace of your power. As long as you have breath, you have a chance to rise, a chance to change everything, a chance to live a life that shocks the world. Forget the people who left you. Forget the ones who doubted you. Forget the ones who said you'd never be anything. Focus on the ones who love you. Focus on the ones who believe in you. Focus on the fire inside you that refuses to die. You were not born ordinary. You were born rich. Rich in spirit, rich in strength, rich in potential. So stand up, wipe your tears, lift your head, and say it with me. I was not born to break. I was born to become legendary. Now go. The world is waiting for the version of you that refuses to stay broken.